Hi, welcome to Beyond Budget. Dell has built its Latitude lineup around one clear priority, giving enterprise and professional users machines that are secure, manageable, and built to last through years of daily travel and office work. The Latitude 7455 marks an important step in that strategy. It is one of Dell's first business laptops to move away from traditional x86 processors and adopt Qualcomm's Snapdragon X series. The goal is straightforward: to deliver the long battery life and AI capabilities that modern mobile professionals actually need, while keeping the durable, IT-friendly design that Latitude customers expect. Released in 2024, our specific model of the Latitude 7455 features a 14-inch QHD+ IPS display, a Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite processor, 16 GB of LPDDR5X RAM, 512 GB of PCIe Gen 4 NVMe storage, and an integrated Adreno GPU. In this review, we will look at build quality, display, connectivity, performance, upgrade options, battery life, and more. The goal is to determine whether this laptop actually makes practical sense for your specific use case, so make sure to watch until the end to make a well-informed decision. Starting with design and build quality, the Latitude 7455 uses an aluminum body that feels solid and well-engineered. At 0.66 inches, or about 16.9 millimeters thick, and weighing roughly 3.17 pounds, or 1.43 kilograms, it falls squarely into the standard thin light laptop category. For context, the Apple MacBook Air M4 sits at 3.4 pounds, or 1.55 kilograms, so portability here is competitive. The laptop is light enough to carry all day without fatigue, yet sturdy enough that it doesn't flex when pressure is applied. The hinge is firm and smooth, with very little wobble even when typing on uneven surfaces. Dell kept the overall aesthetic clean and understated, which is exactly the type of professional design most IT departments and corporate users prefer. Moving on to the display, our unit is equipped with a 2560 by 1600 IPS touchscreen panel using a 16:10 aspect ratio. It features an anti-glare coating and is rated at around 420 nits of brightness. That level of brightness makes indoor usability even under bright lighting strong and consistent, and it's a clear improvement over the sub-300 nit panels often found in lower-tier Latitude models. Outdoor visibility in direct sunlight is still somewhat limited. The higher resolution, combined with the taller aspect ratio, provides more vertical space, which is especially useful when working with spreadsheets, long documents, or multiple windows side by side. Color coverage reaches roughly 100% of the sRGB and about 80% of DCI-P3 color gamut. That represents a noticeable improvement compared with many Latitude displays we've seen in the 3000, 5000, and even some 7000 series models. As a result, the panel is suitable for light creative tasks such as photo adjustments or basic video editing, although it's still not intended to replace a dedicated workstation display. The touchscreen itself is responsive and precise for a business laptop. Tapping, swiping, and dragging windows, tabs, or documents feels accurate and consistent. The matte coating is particularly useful because it minimizes fingerprints and reflections, keeping the screen readable even after hours of touch interaction in bright offices or meeting rooms. Since the panel runs at 60 Hz, scrolling and gestures are smooth, but not as fluid as the higher refresh rates seen on some consumer laptops. Even so, for business workloads, the experience feels polished and sufficient. Connectivity is another area that matters a lot for business users. On the left side, you'll find two USB 4 Type-C ports that support power delivery and DisplayPort 2.1 output with data transfer speed of up to 40 gigabytes per second. On the right side, there's a USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type-A port, a universal audio jack. Certain configurations also offer an optional nano SIM slot for 5G connectivity. Wireless support is modern, with Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4 included. What's missing are native HDMI and Ethernet ports, which means if you frequently connect to wired networks or conference room displays, you have to carry a USB-C dock. The keyboard follows the typical Latitude design philosophy, offering good key travel and a spill-resistant construction. Typing remains comfortable during long writing sessions, whether you're drafting documents or responding to emails. The layout is sensible, and the keyboard includes automatic backlighting adjustment. However, there's no dedicated numeric keypad because of the compact 14-inch chassis, something people who frequently work with numbers might miss. The Precision Trackpad is accurate and responsive, supporting all standard Windows gestures without hesitation. The Full HD infrared webcam includes a physical privacy shutter and performs reliably during video calls, even in moderately low lighting. Audio comes from a 4-speaker setup, with 2 speakers firing upward and 2 firing downward. The sound quality is clear enough for meetings and casual media playback. While it won't compete with dedicated multimedia laptops, it performs more than adequately for conference calls and voice clarity. Performance is where this configuration becomes particularly interesting. The Snapdragon X Plus X1P 6400 processor is an ARM-based chip with 10 cores and a dedicated neural processing unit capable of roughly 45 trillion operations per second for AI workloads. In everyday office tasks such as web browsing with many tabs open, working in Microsoft 365 applications, attending video calls, or performing light data analysis, the system feels responsive and efficient. Multitasking remains smooth, and the processor tends to run cooler than many comparable Intel or AMD chips operating within the same power range. To provide some context, the Snapdragon performs in a similar range to processors like the Intel Core i7 13700H or the Core Ultra 7 1555H in multi-core performance, though it can trail by roughly 20% in single-core performance. Considering its strong efficiency and lower power consumption, that level of performance is still quite impressive. For development work or light creative tasks, the performance is capable, although some traditional x86 applications may need to run through Microsoft's Prism emulation layer. That layer generally works well, but can introduce small compatibility or performance differences depending on the software. Our configuration includes 16 gigabytes of memory, which is sufficient for most business users, while keeping the overall system price reasonable. For heavier multitasking workloads, configurations with up to 32 gigabytes of RAM are available, and may be worth considering if you frequently run many large applications simultaneously. For storage, this unit comes with a 512 GB of PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD. This allows the system to boot Windows quickly, launch applications without noticeable delay, and provides enough space for documents, projects, and everyday work files for most users. Graphics are handled by the integrated Adreno GPU. It manages standard productivity tasks, web-based design tools, and lighter photo or video editing workloads without difficulty. However, this system is not designed for gaming or demanding graphical workloads that require dedicated GPUs. The real advantage of the integrated graphics here is efficiency rather than raw power, which aligns with the laptop's mobile-first business focus. In a standard metric used to measure the raw computational performance of a GPU, the Adreno X1-85 GPU scores about 3.8 TFLOPs, roughly matching older Intel Iris Xe, but trailing newer Arc or Radeon 780M chips, so expect 1080p on low settings for 30 to 45 FPS in most modern titles. It performed well with native or well-optimized games like Baldur's Gate 3, Minecraft, League of Legends, or Rocket League, delivering smooth 60+ FPS in esports and solid play in older AAA stuff like GTA 5, but steer clear of anti-cheat heavy hitters like Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, or Apex Legends, and anything needing AVX instructions. They often won't even launch, so you must also check compatibility of games like you do for applications. Upgradability follows the pattern typical of many modern thin laptops. The LPDDR5X memory is soldered directly to the motherboard, so it cannot be upgraded later. Choosing between 16 or 32 gigabytes at purchase, therefore, becomes an important decision. Storage, on the other hand, uses a single M.2 PCIe Gen 4 slot that can be accessed and replaced by the user. Dell even provides official documentation for replacing the drive, which means expanding storage capacity later is straightforward. Battery life is easily one of the Latitude 7455's standout strengths. This is where the ARM architecture shows its biggest advantage. The 54 watt-hour battery paired with the efficient Snapdragon platform can deliver roughly 15 to 18 hours of real-world productivity use, including browsing, document work, and video calls. Video playback can extend even further. Express charge support allows the battery to reach about 80% capacity in roughly an hour using the included 65-watt USB-C charger. For professionals who spend long days away from power outlets, that kind of endurance can significantly reduce charging anxiety. Thermals are also well managed. The cooling system stays quiet during normal workloads and only becomes noticeable during sustained heavy tasks. Surface temperatures remain comfortable whether the laptop is used on a desk or on your lap, another benefit of the ARM architecture's lower power consumption. Looking at the overall picture, the Latitude 7455 offers several clear strengths. Battery life is excellent, the aluminum chassis feels solid and professional, the display is sharp and bright for office work, and wireless connectivity is fully up to date. The compromises include soldered memory and the absence of built-in HDMI or Ethernet ports. ARM compatibility has improved significantly, but organizations deploying these machines should still verify that their specific business software runs smoothly. The Latitude 7455 makes the most sense for mobile professionals, consultants, and office workers who value long battery life and a lightweight, reliable machine. It also appeals to small businesses or enterprise IT teams looking for a secure, manageable, Copilot-ready laptop. On the other hand, users who require strong GPU performance, extensive hardware upgrades, or guaranteed compatibility with older x86-only software may want to explore other options. Thank you for watching. If you found the review helpful, consider giving it a like and subscribing to Beyond Budget. Let us know in the comments which business laptops you would like to see reviewed next, and we'll see you in the next video.